All right, everybody, welcome back to episode number 18 of the Zap Yankee Baseball Podcast here on YouTube and Spotify every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. You're listening to the voices of Nick Giamonti and
Rich Pagnotta. What's up, everybody? How you doing today?
I think they're doing good. They didn't answer, though.
You know, I really wish you guys would start to answer. It's kind of lonely.
Yeah, really.
It's only Nick here.
We talk to you. We get no answers back.
It's kind of rude.
Nobody ever. Just comment down below. All we want is for you to comment down below.
Yeah,
let us know how you're doing.
Show us some love. Let's tell us how you're feeling. Maybe you know your friends aren't listening to you. We're here to listen to you.
We're here to
Don't talk to us just about Yankees. We'll talk to you about your goldfish. We'll talk to you about anything you want.
Car insurance, home insurance. We're here to help.
All right, Nick's apparently going to go work for the General and some insurance, but I'm here to talk to you guys about the Yankees. What's good? What's good?
Season is finally ended. The 60 games have felt like 10 games, actually, because it came and flew just like that.
Crazy quick.
Yeah, so, we have a decent amount to talk about today. Handing out some awards. Enter clapping sound and cheering.
Golf clap.
Yeah, there we go. Let's get into it. We have two members on the Yankees who have gotten awards this year.
Yes, big deals.
And two big awards, too. I mean, awards that we didn't even think were be dished out to these two players. So, Luke Voit, home run champion. Didn't see that happening.
Literally out of left field.
Did not see that happening at all.
Love it.
For the longest time, Tatis was riding the top of the list, and then Voit just went off.
Yeah, and Trout too. Trout also from having his kid and went nuts, and it was really close. And then the last 2 weeks of the season, Voit just said, "Nah, bro, I got this."
Hold my bat.
Went nuts.
So he finished the year with 22 home runs, so that was awesome. And
they showed it. I saw it online somewhere. They extrapolated his home runs, and that was when he had 18 when he first took over the lead. They said he was on pace for close to 70 home runs if it was a full season. So just another reason why the season getting cut short really, really sucks, because we could have seen some real history. I really doubt it would have happened, because that's Barry Bonds' numbers. That's not going to happen.
And those are Voit numbers.
Yeah, but it would be really cool to see. There's nobody the Yankees got for a bag of peanuts from the Cardinals goes to compete for the home run record.
Yeah.
But I'll settle with 22 and be happy for the future with what he's going to do.
Now, the next person, who is DJ LeMahieu, wrote his own contract in the offseason because he won the AL batting title. This man just never disappoints me at all.
Yeah, he's the first player to win in both the AL and the NL, which is a little fun fact and pretty cool.
First on the Rockies, now on the Yankees. And I'm tired of hearing people bitch out there well, he hits in an easy hit ballparks. But he's not only hitting home runs, he's hitting double singles. You can hit those in any ballpark. Yes, Yankee Stadium has a short porch in right field, but then you're going to argue with the Red Sox and say that they don't have a short left field?
Well, no, I mean, the argument with DJ was mostly because he was coming from Coors Field, and you look at all their players.
Balls fly easier up there.
Exactly. The balls come right off the bat. They're quicker. The air is less dense, so they fly further. But he was never a big home run guy for the Rockies. Then he comes to the Yankees. He's still not a big home run guy. He's hitting a great amount for a player of his stature, but he's still an average guy, and it's beautiful. He's hit, 340, 342? 364?
Right,
I don't know. He hit something crazy this year.
Of what he finished on, let's see.
Whatever it was, he still won the batting title, and now the hope is the Yankees are able to re-sign him.
He finished at 364 with 10 home runs, 27 RBIs, and a 1.01 OPS.
Yeah, he was fantastic. First batting average, fourth OPS. But now it's going to be really difficult to sign him this offseason. Now, he did come out and say he wants to play for the Yankees. Granted, he also said that when he was a free agent 2 years ago that he wanted to play for the Rockies. But it is a business, and there will be greedy teams with a little bit more money they're willing to give to him. I really don't think teams will be able to outbid the Yankees, though. I think the Yankees...
There's no questions asked. The Yankees are going to re-sign him.
Yeah, they're going.
There's no questions.
Well, they're going to make a push. I hope they do. It just comes down to age.
No, it's not like the season. Say the Yankee season end this week, not next week. I'm like, here's your contract. They're going to sit down and then they're going to negotiate a little bit.
Of course. They're going to do what's the best for the club. If they can get him for another cheap deal, which is not going to happen, then they're going to do it. But what they all realize is he's 32 years old. How long of a contract do you give him? 3, 4, 5 years? You hit 5, now you're pushing it, because his production will probably stop after 3 years, 4 years max. I'd give him close to a 4-year deal. I think he's going to get somewhere between 20 to 25 million, though. So he's going to be very expensive to bring back. Personally, I don't mind. It's not my money being spent, and there's no salary cap. So I say give him everything he can because we need him on this team. That there's just too many guys on the team that hit under 300.
Yeah.
Too many guys that strike out, and he's the only one who's consistently on base. Like, listen, I love Judge for the sole fact that he walks so much. Yes, the home runs are great, but he has one of the better eyes in the game. Yes, he strikes out 200 times, but he also gets into so many 3-2 counts. He sees at least 7 to 10 pitches on most at bats. DJ, he sees maybe 3 pitches and he puts it bing right between the fielders and it's a hit every time. Seeing eye singles, little bouncing doubles, and he just beats it all out. So you need a guy like him to really like compensate for players like Judge, Stanton, Sanchez. It's those 3 alone are going to hit you 275 and under, and when you're talking about Sanchez, probably 250 and under. So you need to bring him back. I think that we have to.
Oh yeah, no questions asked. But congratulations to those two for getting those
guys. It's
2
freaking
amazing awards. So proud of them, and hopefully you guys keep it up in the playoffs, which starts tonight.
Yes.
Yes,
tonight, Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, it's gonna be on Wednesday, but in reality, we record this on Tuesday. So Tuesday night, playoffs start. Yes. Actually, not night because right now the
game has already started.
Twins are playing Astros, and as of Tuesday, 4:30, I believe that we are 1-0 against the Astros. So the Twins are defeating the Astros 1-0. Good shit, because I do not want to see them move on in the playoffs. They can eat dirt because of what they did, and that's a nice way and centered way of me seeing that for YouTube. So
there's a graphic. I'm gonna try to find it for you guys so we can post it up though. That shows how bad the Astros were this year when they didn't have the garbage cans being banged and they didn't know what pitch was coming.
They finished under 500, which made me so happy.
Yeah, finished under 500. I think Altuve hit like 214 this year. It's all like career lows from like their 5 best players. So I'm gonna try to find it online and we're gonna try to get it posted for you guys. But it's a fantastic day if you hate the Astros.
But everybody hates the Astros.
This is true.
The past, not to get sidetracked, the past couple of days I've just been watching what MLB has been posting about like the playoff hype, and they've been including obviously the Astros in there because they can't be biased. It's the MLB, yeah. And everyone in the comment section is like, "This is great, but why is Correa in here? Why are the Astros in here? Like, take the Astros out. Nobody wants to see them play." Yeah. And honestly, I am rooting for the Twins to sweep the Astros in 2 games because wild card is best out of 3. So
I think it'll happen. I think the Twins have so much more power, just power straight up, like than the Astros do. The Astros, they have their best players are all hitting terrible this year. They're terrible. They can't hit the ball. Yeah. They're not putting the ball in play. They're not hitting home runs. Twins are a powerhouse of a team. I think the Twins are gonna like just walk away in like 2 games and be like, okay, next.
But which brings us into we talked about this on last episode. If you listen to the episode we posted last Friday. We, beginning of the show, way back a months, even before the season even started, we were talking about, our predictions on division winners and how we thought the season would, turn out. So we went back about an hour ago and looked at, our predictions and see if we were correct. And it's pretty interesting, actually, what went on. And, I'm going to have a graphic up, either in the middle or below us. It's somewhere on the screen. The graphic's going to pop up with our predictions and what the actual outcome of the season turned out to be. So, Richard, would you like to, go over what our predictions were, or your predictions at least?
Yeah, so I'll do mine. So, I'll start off wrong. This is a Yankee podcast. We had all the hope in the world the Yankees would take the division. Did not really see Tampa as so much of a threat. I was wrong. So, Twins. Tampa clearly overtook the Yankees 7 games. I was wrong. I picked the Yankees. Then I picked the Twins to take the Central. I also thought that they would have the best record in the league. And I was... Oh, sorry. I was off by 7 games. Wow, that's not even close. So, I was right about the Twins. Wrong about them having the best record. Then I picked Oakland. That was pretty easy. They walked away with that division. Then things got a little iffy. I was torn between the Mets and the Braves, which now is just like comical. So thankfully, I was smart and I picked the Braves, which was smart because they won the division. Then I went ahead and I picked the Cardinals to take the division for the Central. I was wrong. The Cubs took it. And then the easy one was the Dodgers taking the West. I took that. So I finished 4 for 6. I'm pretty happy about that. Nick, on the other hand, he had less right than I did.
Wasn't that bad. I just got one wrong. So I went out and I was saying...
One less than I had.
I was saying I thought, obviously the Yankees would take the division. But, with them crapping out with that 2-week period in August really destroyed that. So Tampa overtook that. I did say the Twins. I did get Oakland right. I don't know what I was thinking would happen with the East. I don't know why I doubted the Braves so much, but I thought the Phillies would have taken first place.
Yeah, because you love Girardi and thought he could fix the Phillies. The Phillies suck.
No, I don't love Girardi. I love Didi Gregorius. I think he's great. So, yeah, I think, I was definitely off with that one, and I think the Phillies have a lot to work on. I guess the Cardinals for the Central, I thought that they would be a little bit better than the Cubs this year. And the Cubs were just a little bit better than them. So the Cubs took the division. And then the obvious one was the Dodgers in the West. And I had a little bit of faith with the Padres this year. And they, I was sort of right because when we went back in the video, I said obviously the Dodgers. But then I can also see maybe either Padres or the Giants throwing some, some back at them. But nope, that didn't really happen.
It did not.
Yeah, that's it. But also,
I'm smarter than Nick.
Yeah, he's smarter than me. Too. And also, I just want to briefly go over the overall, who had the best record of the season, which, in the AL was Tampa Bay, who went 40-20, and then the Dodgers in the NL, who went 43-17. So the Dodgers just absolutely murdered everybody.
Oh my God, yeah.
By a lot. And way down here on the list is the Houston Astros, who are 29-31. So, and just way down for some reason is Pittsburgh, who couldn't even win 20 games.
Yeah, the Pirates are trash.
And I don't understand how they're that bad.
They couldn't win a third of the games. They're just that bad. Hold on, wait. I want to see one thing. The one thing that is very interesting is even without trash cans, the Astros are still 20-8 at home. That's the 5th best record at home. Wow, and they're absolutely trash on the road.
9-23.
9-23 on the road.
That's really bad.
So, I know I mentioned it last week. I don't know what's going to happen with these games. Like, they're all at neutral field sites. There's no fans. Home field advantage is thrown out the window. And it sucks. The Yankees, they're 22-9. What'd you do?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were still looking at that.
Yeah, they're 22-9. They were tied for the best home record. So if the Yankees had home field advantage, that'd be great. But, they wouldn't have had it because they were the 5th seed anyway. But bringing this neutral site into play, it's going to change things. I don't know if you would technically look at that as an away game. Granted, players will have been there for a couple of days beforehand and whatnot. But the Yankees are 11-18 on the road. And then you look at Houston, who's the worst in the whole playoffs. And it's tied. It looks like they're tied for 3rd, 4th worst record in the league on the road. They're 9-23. It's just a lot to try to figure out, and they're only a +4 run differential, which is really bad. And this year the the Dodgers scored the most runs by 1 point, and they also let up the least. They gave up 213 runs. For perspective, Yankees gave up 57 more. They gave up 270 runs and only had 315 runs scored. But that puts them as 4th best in the playoffs. So a lot of people might be counting us out. We still have a lot of power that we bring to the plate. It's obvious. You got Sanchez, Judge, Stanton, Torres, the home run leader in Voit. DJ's packing some power, so there's a lot of good on this team.
We have a healthy team now.
Yeah, everyone's healthy. Everyone's freaking out, and like I said, back in August, everybody was hurt. Everybody went out at the same time.
Another thing is we have Brett Gardner, who at the end of the season started to heat up a little bit.
Everyone started to get warm. It's like I said last week, I think everybody finally got that month and a half, 2 months of getting their body back into game day shape, and they were going through the motions for a month or so, and now everything's falling into piece. Everything's working. So I think the Yankees should really be a feared team right now. So hopefully good things happen. So
yeah, and that's going to bring us on to our next point after the division winners, and we're going to talk about now the postseason and who's playing who got what seed, and also what we think is going to happen all the way up to the World Series, because we really can't go. We only post a video once a week, so we really can't go series by series, because by the time next week comes, we're going to be in the championship series already. And I know that's scary to say. There's no breaks in the. There might be a game between the championship and the World Series, but between series, I don't think there's any breaks. I think you just move on.
I mean,
there might be
football. Baseball is supposed to be a month from today, the 29th. Correct?
So there might be.
If it goes to games, I guess
if you're doing if your series is constantly going to game 4 or whatever, to the last game of the series, then there's probably no break. So I'm gonna just go back on what I said. If say the Twins sweep the Astros this week, they might have a 2-game break between the next series. So I could be wrong with that then. Am I wrong? Prove me wrong.
It's only showing us up until... Alright, so I'm trying to look up the
calendar right there. Prove me wrong, Richie.
Everything's TBD, so they haven't announced anything.
But it looks like everything is... The way they have it scheduled is...
Every day.
There's no breaks. Yeah. So, we're just going to do our World Series... Up to World Series prediction kind of today, because...
It looks like there's nothing
there's
on
only
Saturday
3
and Sunday.
Okay, so whatever. So by the time we start next week, championship series, or at least the end of the AL NLDS will be going on. Yeah. So, let's talk about who got what seed in the postseason, starting with the AL. Starting off with Tampa Bay and Toronto. Tampa Bay got the 1st seed. Toronto got the 8th seed.
Which is a big deal. Toronto had the 5th seed locked up, and then the Yankees came in and they put up a million runs against them and knocked them down a couple pegs, which was fantastic. It really secured our seeding, and we weren't just hoping to get in. We made it in solidly at the 5th seed. So, it's going to be interesting, the 2 AL East rivals going at it, because we saw firsthand Toronto's they're a fierce team. They're fighters. So that will be a fun series to watch.
Yes, and then we move on to Cleveland and the Yankees. Cleveland got seed 4 and Yankees got seed 5. Then we move on to the Twins and Houston. So you gotta explain something to me after this, because I'm confused with one thing. So the Twins got the 3rd seed and Houston got 6th. But Toronto had a better record than Houston.
So let's see their records.
Yeah, they were 32-28, Toronto, and then Houston was 29-31.
It might come down to tiebreakers and stuff.
Maybe it does.
I'm not too sure, because this is all new this year. It's nothing.
It's a weird way they're doing it. Yeah, they're probably not going to do this next year. It's probably going to go back to the way the playoffs have been. So it's weird, right?
Yeah, it's just that's sure.
Whatever. So to continue with that, we have scroll down. We're going to finish up with the A's and the Sox. A's got seed 2, and the Sox got seed 7. And then let's move on to the... Is that you doing a breakdown of the matchups?
I was just double checking.
Okay, then we're going to move on to the NL, where we have the Dodgers against Milwaukee. Milwaukee just made it into the playoffs in the last game of the season. Eliminating the Phillies from the playoffs. So, Dodgers, obviously seed 1. Milwaukee, seed 8. Then we move on to San Diego and St. Louis, where we have...
Nick's second favorite team in the league, the Padres.
They're not my second favorite team. I just like them this year. So the Padres, seed 4, Cardinals 5, Cubs against Miami. Still weird to see Miami in the playoffs, but whatever. Cubs 3 and Miami 6. And then we have the Braves against the... Oh my God, the Reds are in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Jeez, okay. Wow. Weird. I can't wait till next year to go back to normal, because this is weird. So we have Braves in 2 and then the Reds 7. All right. So Richie, do you want to go over maybe your predictions on what you think is going to happen between the AL between Tampa and the Rays and so far, and how do you think of the...
Yeah. So I'm moving both Tampa and the Dodgers immediately into the next round. They're just going to walk away with it. Same thing for the Braves. I'm going to put them immediately in. I'm going to go with the Marlins, only because the Marlins have never lost a playoff series, and I love Donnie Baseball. Then I think the Padres are going to just crush St. Louis. So that would make it... Dodgers, Padres,
Marlins, and Braves.
Oh God! All right. I think Tampa beats Toronto. The White Sox and A's are going to be interesting.
That's going to go to Game 3, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. So, wow, they're both so close. Like, see, this doesn't make any sense.
I know they're playing right now, I think, because I saw that someone on the White Sox hit the first home run of the season. Oh, wow. So
White Sox are up 3-0. You know, I thought I was making a leap of faith. I was gonna go with the White Sox, and I'm still gonna. I'm gonna pretend I don't know that they're winning 3-0. So I'm gonna say the White Sox and the Twins. And then this Yankee matchup is gonna be weird. We're going against most likely the Cy Young winner today, and they just have an all around great pitching staff. Now I'm not worried about their batters, but the fact that we have Hap going for Game 3 does not make me feel good. I mean, I'm saying the Yankees. I'm a homer. I love the Yankees, so I'm going to assume the Yankees. I'm putting the Yankees in. So it's Yankees, Tampa. Tampa's had our number all year. Tampa's going to beat us. Then Twins, White Sox. Give me the White Sox. Give me White Sox, Tampa. And fuck it. I want to say White Sox. White Sox World Series. So then I got the Dodgers and Padres, Dodgers, and then the Marlins and Braves. I'm gonna go White Sox and Braves World Series.
Really, you think the Braves are gonna take the Dodgers?
Yeah, I think if any team in the league can do it, it's probably the Braves.
I think that would be a fun World Series to watch.
Oh my God, I would not be looking forward.
Who'd you root for though? Who'd you root for?
Oh God.
In your scenario, White Sox, Braves, World Series, who are you rooting for that to win this year?
I'm going to go with the Braves because I have a lot of Ronald Acuna Jr. Rookie cards sitting in my house. So if they win and he becomes like World Series MVP, those cards become worth a lot of money. So let's go Braves.
All right, well, I'm going to go opposite of you and say White Sox because the White Sox have not been good for a long time. And to see them be an underdog team this year is going to be awesome to watch. Awesome to watch. So I'm going with not Red Sox. Screw the Red Sox. I'm going with the White Sox winning the World Series in your scenario. So now I'm going to move on to my scenario. And let's see. So I have Tampa taking the first round, moving on to the ALDS. I have the Yankees moving on to the ALDS. Twins moving on. I'm going to say... That one's... See, here's the thing with Oakland and the White Sox. It's so weird because they're both so good. I'm gonna say the White Sox too, actually. So the White Sox move on.
Let's go.
Tampa. I think it's gonna go to Game 3. So I think White Sox, Twins,
same
and
CSs.
Yeah, White Sox and Twins, and I think it's going to be Tampa and Yankees. Now here's where it's gonna get a little bit interesting for me.
Just picking the Brewers, guys.
Oh no, I'm still in I'm still in the American League. Yeah. So I think the Yankees and the Rays are going to go to the last game of the series. I think it's going to be a battle because I think the Yankees now really, after getting their asses kicked all year from the Rays, I really think the Yankees are going to want to, fight for their spot. They lost the division. They were getting crap talked against by Cash. The whole Rays team organization fans, I think they're going to want to really prove themselves.
You see the shirts that Tampa bought?
Yes,
that they have?
It's pretty funny actually.
So if you,
it's pretty funny.
You should know it by now. This happened a few weeks ago. Tampa threw at one of our guys, and then we retaliated and hit one of theirs. And the Rays coach came out and was like, "I got a stable of guys that throw 98, so hit our guys."
So they made horse shirts and they made 98ers. Tampa Bay 98ers.
So it's funny, but please wear those. Give the Yankees some encouragement so that we just go out there and bash them.
Yeah, so I think, I'm going to go with, I know the Rays are a better team, but I think the Yankees are going to overcome them in the last game and move on to the championship series.
I hope so.
And this is where it's going to be interesting. I think between the Twins and the Sox, if the Sox can get past the Athletics, who are a great team, I think they can get past the Twins. And I'm going to go with Yankees and Sox in the championship series. We're going to hold that for now and jump over to the NL side. Obviously, the Brewers are going to beat the Dodgers. I'm totally joking with that. The Dodgers are moving on. Padres are moving on. Don't understand what you're talking about Miami. Cubs are moving on. and the Braves are moving on. So now we're in the second round. So I'm going to say Dodgers moving on past the Padres. I think it's going to go to the...
That's going to be a tough series for you to watch.
That's going to be a great series to watch. I think that it's going to go to the last game of the series. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. I think it's going to go to the last game of the series. But Dodgers are going to win. They're going to move on to the ALCS. Between the Cubs and Braves, I'm going with Cubs. I think the Cubs are just doing really good this year. I'm moving the Cubs over to the championship series. So we have the Dodgers against the Cubs and the Yankees against the White Sox, I said? White Sox. So hard. Jeez. I'm sticking with it. I'm saying Dodgers are in the World Series. They're just doing so good this year. I don't see anyone else beating them.
Yeah, no,
I really don't see it. The Dodgers are going to be in the World Series. And
unless everybody that gets hurt in the next week or gets corona,
it's not happening.
The Dodgers.
If they get corona, they're just gonna move the series up.
Put them in pen that they're playing. The
Dodgers are going. I don't think the Yankees are that good enough this year to get to the World Series.
Nope.
And if they get to the World Series, I'm gonna punch myself straight in the face for saying that. But I think the Yankees have a lot of issues this year. A lot of issues to fill in between. The starting pitching is just still not there. I mean, yes, we added Garrett Cole. He's amazing. David Garcia is a great pitcher. But we lost Paxton. Happ is hit or miss.
Happ is trash.
Tanaka is okay this year. We just have...
Playoff Tanaka is different than regular season.
That's very true. So Tanaka could be better than Cole in the postseason. It's not. It's probably not going to happen, but it could be possible.
That's a tall glass of water.
That's a tall glass of water, and I'm gonna drink it. But the Sox. I think if the Sox can get past the Athletics, they can get past the Twins, and I think they're gonna really let the Yankees run for their money. So I'm not going to have a split decision on two different teams making the World Series because that's not fair. So I'm going to just suck it up and say Sox, Dodgers, World Series.
So we both have the same pick. No, I picked
you picked the Braves. I'm saying the Sox and Dodgers.
I'm writing in pen that the Dodgers are going.
You picked the Braves.
I'm going different. I want to beat Nick. So if I have to take the Braves.
All right, so when the World Series is over, we'll come back to this episode and we'll see if we were correct. But
it's like the Padres.
It's gonna be like the Padres and Houston.
It's gonna be something stupid.
It's gonna be the Astros and like the Brewers. It's gonna be something so stupid, and I'm not gonna watch it if Houston's in the World Series.
No one's watching it.
No one's watching it.
The MLB will fix it so that Houston doesn't get it. They'll have the umps call shit games for them. Like they're not going back to the World Series.
But I think Tampa Bay is a very good team, but I don't think they're making it to the World Series. And I think the same for the Athletics. I think they're an amazing team this year, but I think there's going to be that underdog team between them going against the Sox. And I think the Sox are going to...
But it's not even that much of an underdog. If you look at their records, they're one game apart, the Athletics and the White Sox.
But the Athletics have been constantly good the past 2-3 seasons, where the White Sox just came out of nowhere.
The White Sox have scored 32 more runs and given up only 14 more.
And that's why I'm choosing them to be in the World Series.
Oh, this is interesting.
Look, if the Yankees I'm a diehard Yankee fan. You're a diehard Yankee fan, and we're not gonna, jump on the Yankees bandwagon all the time. We have to, sit back and realize the problems that are with the team. If the Yankees
we're realists.
We're realists. If the Yankees had the record of the Dodgers, I would be sitting here saying the Yankees are winning the World Series, no questions asked. But with the record they had and the problem that they had, where they went like 20-6, and then they went like 5 and like 15, and then they went 10-0, and then the last week of the season they went like 6-10. Those are big issues right there. It's not
They're
constant.
A streaky team, and it's soft.
It's streaky.
You want to see consistency.
And
you don't want to see
the fact that
big wins and suck for a month.
Yeah.
Oh, another big streak, then suck for another week.
And the fact that our whole bottom half of the lineup just felt shredded. Like everyone, you look at the bottom half of the lineup, everyone has a below 200 average. The
whole lineup has under 300 average.
Yeah, and look,
DJ.
Last week of season, bats did start to wake up, but then other questions are getting raised. It's like, are you guys going to get hot in the playoffs now and then actually fight your way to the World Series? Or are you going to be streaky and be good in the wild card, and then you get to Tampa and you choke in 4 games?
And then we have to worry about the problem that we've had the last 2 years, where we just can't hit the ball in the postseason. It's pathetic.
It comes to the championship series where we just fall asleep.
Yeah.
I really think, honestly, the closest chance we had to the World Series was in 17.
Yeah,
that was literally
we should have won.
We should have been in the World Series in 26. If the Astros didn't do what they did, the Yankees would have been in the World Series in 2017. Because if you look back at that team of what they did,
was it the Red Sox 17 or was it the Astros?
No, it was Houston and Dodgers 17. 18 was Dodgers and Red Sox. Last year was Nationals and Houston. Okay. But if you look back at what that team did, that team shouldn't even haven't got to where they were because everyone saw that team going into that season and said the Yankees are not going to be a good team this year.
And what sucks about 2017, once the Yankees were out of it, I was rooting for Houston. I looked at them like, you know what, I want them to win. They haven't won a World Series in God knows how long. I'm gonna root for the underdog. And now, I feel dirty. I feel like I need to go take a shower.
You slut. Richie, you ignorant slut. but yeah, it's good. As much as I want to say I want the Yankees in the World Series, it's a long postseason for them.
What just makes it all worse is everything's so condensed. You're adding in an extra round of games for everybody, and there's no rest. There's no time off. And listen, I'm not one to beg for time off for baseball, but you played 60 games in 2 months, and there were so many games where you had doubleheaders, then another doubleheader, and then 5 straight games. These players were beat. They were exhausted. It sucked. Quick update. Astros and the Twins are now tied 1-1. I don't know why I'm updating you. You will know who won by the time you're listening to this.
Yeah, I just wanted to see scores. I think this is going to be such a blowout series.
Yeah.
The Rays are really going to... they're going to...
You hope so, but I really think the Blue Jays are going to at least take one of them.
I really hope that the Blue Jays knock the Rays out of the playoffs. That'd be amazing.
I don't want to play either one of those teams. But
yeah, whatever.
Nick did bring something up to me before we started recording. He thinks that the Yankees are going to bring back Brett Gardner for next year.
Oh, so we are talking about that? Okay. Richie doesn't agree with me, but he does have a club option for 2021, which is $12.5 million. And I think he's going to be re-signed one more year, just his final season. He's going to announce, look, this is my final season. I'm going into retirement after this, whether we win it all or not. Or, hey, say if the Yankees actually make it to the World Series this year, I think he just takes the ring and cuts out, and that's it.
Well, yeah.
But if they don't win this year, I think he's gonna try and make the push and say, look, I may be 36 years old, but I can still make my voice heard on this team. He started heating up in this season. I think he'd be a fourth outfielder. He doesn't have to start. He's not going to. If he comes back, he's not going to start. It's going to be Frazier, Hicks, Judge, and that's going to be our outfield. You cannot tell me that they're not going to start Clint Frazier. You can't. But I don't think that they're going to just let him walk away. I think they're going to give him one last year. But that is also assuming that the Yankees do not make it to the World Series this year. Because if they win the World Series this year and he gets that ring, I think he's going to cut out.
See, I disagree because I don't think that they're going to give a guy $12.5 million to sit on the bench. That's starting money. I think that they would rather have Talkman as their fourth outfielder than Gardner. I think that if they do wind up bringing Gardner back, I think they decline the team option
and then renegotiate with something else.
Come back with an offer of somewhere around $4 to $6 million. I think that's more of what he's worth if he's going to sit on the bench and be a clubhouse leader. Granted, he will come in clutch when everybody inevitably gets hurt and he needs to play. But at the same time, he's 38, 37, 38. He's old.
He's 36.
He's 36.
Yeah, he's not that old.
All right. Well, that changes things a little. I was saying, I'd take DJ until he was 37. But, all right, I'll take Brett for another year then if he's 36.
I'm sorry, he's 37. Okay. But he's not 38. He's 37.
He'll be turning 38 next year. Okay. He just had such a bad year. And a lot of that, listen, I'm talking everybody's bad year up this year to Corona and not having proper warm-up time in spring training. I've given that to everybody, not just Yankees, the entire league. I don't think they bring him back at that salary. I think that they're trying to, with the contracts that they have with Cole and Stanton just announced this week, he's not opting out this year. So
he's not opting out?
No. So they have $600 million locked up in 2 players. They still have to pay Judge and Torres and DJ this year. The fact that DJ is going to probably make another $80 million and the Yankees are going to have to bite the bullet and pay it makes it tough. Like I said, if they bring him back, it's going to be cheap, but he's going to be a fifth outfielder, maybe even sixth if the Yankees, for some reason, keep Andujar, which, again, is very unlikely.
I think Andujar's days in New York are done.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because...
he did not make the playoff roster, and to me, when I saw that today, I said to myself, he's getting traded, or I don't know if he's a free agent in the offseason, but whichever it is, he's not going back to the Yankees next year.
It's unfortunate because he should have won Rookie of the Year, if you ask me, and... if it wasn't for that surgery that he had to get last year, then we're talking a different tune, and he's hitting just as well as he did 2 years ago. And I've been on the Andujar bandwagon since he was back playing for Triple and Double A. Like, I wanted to call him up a year or two early. I thought that he had all this potential. Unfortunately, I was wrong. He had one really good year. I think that you can probably flip him somewhere and get a Double A reliever who you have some high hope in. Maybe a AAA guy who's not that far behind. But I do think I can see them bringing Gardner back for this one reason only. Because he went out yesterday, or 2 days ago, for his final game. He came out of the dugout to tip his hat to Yankee Stadium. He's a player who's been a Yankee for life. He's a player where the fans love him. There's nobody who hates him. I don't hate Brett Gardner.
I love Brett Gardner.
I love Brett. I've gone to so many Yankee games where he has won the game by himself in extra innings or bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and he hits a home run. Gardner's one of my favorite Yankees, and it's just very unfortunate that nobody was there to say goodbye to him. So I think the Yankees would bring him back as
a farewell.
For a farewell tour of sorts, but he's not going to play a lot. They're going to give him a cheap contract. They're not bringing him back for $12 million plus.
Now, do you think the Yankees decline his club option? They come back with, and say, look, one last year, you're a fourth or fifth outfielder, $4 or $5 million. Do you think he says yes, or do you think he says no and goes somewhere else?
I think he weighs his options and see what's on the table. The fact that he knows if he had a decent year, he would be getting 12.5. I think he probably looks at himself like it was a down year. Spring training was messed up. Coronavirus happened. I think I still have it in me. I think that if somebody were coming offer him $12 million as opposed to $5 million with the Yankees, I think it would be foolish to not consider it. So I think he would at least consider it. I do think he is a Yankee for lifer. I think he would re-sign with the Yankees. So the hope is that he does, but just don't bring him back at 12.5. You can't. It's too much money.
I think you made a good point. I think that they'll decline his club option, but I think they'll still offer him something. I just don't think that the Steinbrenners are done with Brett Gardner yet, or Cashman is done with him yet. I think they're not going to offer him $12 million on the bench. You're absolutely right with that. But they'll come back and they'll say, look, we love you. You've been here since 2008. You've been in our organization since 2005. And those are actually, I looked those numbers up yesterday, so I don't want you to think I'm bullshitting those numbers.
No, I believe
you. You have a World Series ring with us. Everybody loves you. You're a crowd favorite. You're not a captain, but you're a leader on this team. We'll offer you $5 million to come back as the fifth or sixth outfielder.
Now, there is one thing that we're not even thinking of because it just sounds silly to think of. Mm-hmm. What happens if Cashman isn't our GM and we have to bring in somebody else who has no connection to Gardner?
So, I keep seeing those stupid rumors. Everyone's saying, what if what if Cohen goes out and tries to swoo Brian Cashman to come into the Mets? I don't think Brian Cashman's going to leave the Yankees, especially not right now.
Here's the thing, though. Cashman's been the Yankees since the mid-'90s, and he's only been the GM. The whole thing that Cohen now can do, if you don't know, Cohen bought the Mets. I think we said that the other day. He apparently has more money than God. So he can go and give Cashman $10 million a year plus, and he would make him president or vice president of the whole team, not just GM. So that's the one thing that the Mets can offer that the Yankees can't. That they would give him a promotion that the Yankees would never give him. I don't think it happens.
Do you think that's enough for him to leave? Do you think he's willing to leave the Yankees to go to the Mets after a team that he built up?
I think he might entertain it because there's been so many fans lately who hate Cashman that they look at the 90s teams and he didn't build those teams. It was the GM before him, and he kind of just rode the coattails.
But who do you think who would be a good GM for the Yankees to hire? To the Yankees.
The Angels just let go of Billy Epler.
Yeah, but he didn't do shit for the Angels.
Yeah, but he was groomed under Brian Cashman. So, and
I guess.
I think the Yankees GM job is a very easy job because you're almost guaranteed a blank check to go get whoever the owners want.
That's true, too. I mean, that is very true. The Steinbrenner's probably going to offense to say, you know what? They did it with Cole. They literally told Cashman,
get him.
Go get him. We don't care how much it is.
Yeah.
You take whoever the hell you want. Go take Andy Pettitte. Take Mariano Rivera with you. Who cares? We don't care how much he is. Go get him and bring him to New York. So if the Yankees, bypass World Series again this year, I wouldn't be surprised if, whether it's Brian Cashman or someone else, gets another blank check and goes, go out there and get whatever big free agent is on the market.
There's no good free agents this year. If they get anybody, it's going to be through a trade. But I think the one thing that would be alluring would be to get a team that you actually do get. You get the Mets job, you're building from the ground up. And you're starting really, really well. That you have DeGrom, you have Syndergaard, you have, who's the kid? Conforto.
Backdrop fell.
Oh. Well, that's Nick's wall, guys. I'm not going to let a fallen backdrop stop me, so while we all get to enjoy Nick's butt in a minute, come on, show the people what they want. So, I think the Mets job is very, very attractive. I think it is something he would consider. A lot of fans would be happy if Cashman's gone. I'm not one of them. So, it would be interesting. But if we wind up getting a GM that has no ties to the Yankees, I think that we could very likely be seeing the last of Brett Gardner in these upcoming series.
I also think we see, depending on who it really is, we could see a little bit of a downslope of the Yankees, depending on who the GM is.
What do you mean by that?
Like, instead of them being a top-tier team, they can drop a little bit, because it depends also on your GM, too.
Well, yeah, but I think they have enough talent on the team currently.
It doesn't matter about the talent on the team. It also depends on your future talent. So it also depends on how you're going to handle your farm system.
Yeah, well, that comes a lot in with scouting, and those are two different departments. Now, if I were Cashman, I would do whatever I could to take my scouting department with me. But I think it's very unlikely.
Cashman has a couple of years left on his contract anyway.
He does. No, I think he has about 3 years left on his contract.
Yeah, so it's not really anything weird right now. He's under contract. Yeah, he really can't leave.
The only way he would be able to leave is if the Yankees allow him, and
I don't think they're gonna say.
I think they would only say no because it's like the same reason they don't trade with the Red Sox. It's like they're rivals. Yeah. And now the Mets are crosstown rivals, and now they can really compete because they have a guy who's willing to spend his money to get the guys.
Also, the whole reason why Noah Syndergaard has never come to the Yankees is because they don't want to trade with each
other. Van Wagen was very close to sending him to the Yankees for Sanchez, and I was very against that. But
so before we end the episode, because we're actually going to end it right now, I just want to say that Giolito, who was the White Sox starting pitcher today, actually had a perfect game into the 7th inning.
Yeah, so he's scary.
So that would have been sick. But, whoever scored on another reason why the Astros suck, they ruin a perfect game. But anyway, we had a lot to talk about today. And look, by next episode, we're either going to be happy people or very sad people.
Yeah.
Regardless of how the playoffs pan out, we're recording no matter what. So, even if the Yankees aren't in the World Series, whoever's in the World Series, we're going to be talking about it. And we're going to be rooting for whoever we want to root for in that circumstance. Yeah. But we'll worry about that then. Right now, the Yankees start Game 1 tonight in, I don't know what hell they're playing tonight.
It's in Cleveland, which sucks because...
Wait, is it in actual Cleveland or is it in an alternate site?
It's in Cleveland.
So the wild card games are in...
It's in a neutral site, but it's in Cleveland.
Okay, whatever. That's cool. So we got Garrett Cole against Shane Bieber. So two amazing pitchers. Garrett Cole against the potential Cy Young winner, who was absolutely phenomenal this year.
Filthy. Absolutely filthy.
So, So next week, will the Yankees be in the second or third round of the playoffs, or will we be talking about a different team in the second round of the playoffs?
Well, I'll
find out next Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. So do I. Here on YouTube, also Spotify. Check us out on all social medias at Lazap, guys. Please give us the love and support. We just want people to hear us and, get a little bit more of a following because we love this. We love doing this, but we want to make sure everyone out there can hear us as well.
Yeah. All right, guys. Like we said, tell everybody you know about us. Share us wherever you can. And we will see you next week.
Peace.